Hello everyone, welcome to Crafty Garden. My name is Stephanie and you're joining me in the mountains of Vermont where I live with my husband, our 2 dogs, and our cat. Today I have a sewing heavy episode for you. I have 2 finished objects and a work in progress that I would like to talk about. I'm really excited about. First up, I'd like to tell you a few things. There are timestamps to different segments of the video down below with an outline. And you can also find links to my social media, my Ravelry, Instagram accounts, Etsy shop, all of that jazz. It's all down below. And I'd like to just quickly mention that I'm co-hosting a CraftyBug Sew Along with MandoBug Crafts. She's MandoBug Crafts on YouTube. She also has a podcast. We are co-hosting a sew along. It's a selfish sew along. Make something for yourself. And it's ending soon. It ends May 31st. And I just wanted to remind you, give you a little heads up that it is ending May 31st. So if you would like to take part, maybe make yourself something small like a project bag or maybe a quick and easy simple garment, something like that. Whatever you want, something you've been dying to make for yourself. Come and join us. We're hosting a chatter thread in my Ravelry group, and all of the rules are listed there. And also I had a special video that I made for the sew along. The prizes that I'm giving away, I'm giving away a half yard of this fabric and a half yard of this fabric. These are really adorable Moda quilting cotton prints, and these would make a really adorable bag, or there's like a million things you could probably make with this. Exaggerating a little bit there, but anything from, tote bag, project bag, maybe a fabric basket. There's tons and tons of stuff, and you could probably find some great ideas on Pinterest or even free tutorials here on YouTube. So yeah, I would like to talk about sewing first. So we're going to jump straight into sewing, and I'm going to talk about my finished object that you can see right here. So I found this tutorial on Closet Case Patterns, the Closet Case Patterns blog. And I was searching around on the blog because I am currently cutting out one of their patterns, and I just finished sewing the Carolyn pajama shorts. So I was looking around on the blog, and I found a free tutorial for a clothesline rope purse. And I was just like, I have to make that right now. And I searched all over my house, and I couldn't find, I knew I had a thing of clothesline hanging around somewhere, because I have made like little fabric wrapped clothesline bowls or baskets, probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't even know where they are anymore, but I made these little baskets or bowls that you could use for fruit, or, like put some apples in there and have it as a cute little decoration for your kitchen table, or maybe your countertop or something like that. So I knew I had some hanging around, but I couldn't find it. I searched everywhere in my house. I could not find it. So I ended up, I had my husband pick me up two things of clothesline from the hardware store. And I made this, this purse, and I don't know, it took me a few hours, I think, 2 to 3 hours. It could have been less than that. I didn't time myself. Changing the colors, these, I have yellow, blue, and then yellow, and then of course there's white. Changing the colors added a little bit of extra time to making the bag. There's also blue on the bottom, which I think looks so cool. So yeah, I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about it. I used almost two little things of rope. I don't, like a hank of rope or something. This is just clothesline from the hardware store. And I've used 2 different kinds before. One kind I've used before has like plastic on the inside, and this one doesn't. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. This one doesn't have plastic on the inside. which was nice because I wasn't sure if they all had plastic on the inside, but they don't. So some of them, you'll probably have to look at what the materials are on the packaging, but I don't think it matters. You can use either because I've used both. So I used almost 2. This is the leftover that I have. I could probably make a small bowl with this, or I can save it to make another bag. And I would kind of like to make another one, maybe a little bit bigger. This one's bigger than the one, it's a free tutorial, like I said, on the Closet Case Patterns blog. And yeah, I changed a couple things. So the first thing I did was just I made it bigger. So the bottom, I just sewed this oval shape. It looks a lot like a little rug. I sewed this oval shape first, and until it was the base of the bag, you know, was a size that I liked. And then I immediately started going up at a very steep angle, and I'll show you a few pictures of what it looked like while I was sewing it. So you basically start with it when you're at this stage. It's flat, laying flat while you're sewing it. And then you use your hand, or you can, I've seen on other tutorials, like when I did the fabric wrapped bowls that I did, I was wrapping strips of fabric around it while I was sewing. And maybe one day I'll find them and bring them out for a crafting from the past segment. But so the angle that you bring it up at affects the shape of the bag or the bowl or whatever you're making. And I brought it straight up, like almost 90 degrees. And so that's how it went from being flat here to going straight up, almost straight up. Versus out at a more of an angle. It could have come out more at an angle like that versus almost 90 degrees here. So yeah, I had a couple photos of that, so hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. This was really fun to make. I think it probably just took me like 2 hours, I think. And you don't need anything special to make this. So someone asked me on Instagram, because I posted some photos on Instagram of it, and what kind of needle I used. Did I just use a regular needle? And you probably could use a heavier standard needle. I decided to put in a denim or jeans needle, and that seemed to work pretty well. I really didn't have any issues making this at all. On the back side here, there's like a darker yellow spot, and that's where I joined in the new rope. And then there are spots where I've back stitching, and you can do that strategically to create like visual interest. So if you do, you know, back stitching, it doesn't need back stitching in, you know, those spots maybe. You could do some here, some there, some here, or wherever, and it adds little darker spots, and it just adds sort of like this artsy visual interest to the bag that I think is really pretty. So yeah, so I followed the tutorial for the little these little openings, and you could easily make a bucket style basket for maybe housing kids' toys or dog toys, or maybe organizing stuff in your bathroom. You can make your own little baskets for that, and it would be very similar to how I did this to make little handles. You could just make them a little bit longer, so the space where you don't sew would be a little bit longer, and maybe you'd want the handles to be long enough to actually put your hand through. These aren't. I do think I made mine, I think it's probably like maybe like 2.5 inches to 3 inches. I haven't measured it, the opening I have. I probably could have just done a 1-inch opening, and that would just have a little smaller hole like that. But I think it's actually pretty cool. This is a crossbody bag, so when there's weight in it, it adds this little detail, like this little opening here. It looks pretty cool. So you can see how to do that on the tutorial. She shows you how to do that and how to create this little loop for the closure. So she used a toggle, and I don't have any toggles, but I had this large white button, and I like the white button because it doesn't distract from the colors in the bag. If I had used a color, it would draw more attention to the button, and I just kind of wanted the button to not be a focal point. So I think the white button does that really well. And I'll show you what the inside looks like. So there's the little loop on the back. So you just kind of cross it over like that. And I have it crossed, but you could also, I could untwist it and not have it crossed. I think the cross looks cute though. And I'll show you the inside. So it's a pretty deep bag. I would even I'd like to make another one of these, and I'd make it even larger, I think. I would make the base a little bit wider. Probably not too much wider, but maybe a little bit wider. And then I would make the bag maybe a little bit taller and use it as a purse. I did use this, I took this to, I wore it out to my martial arts class last night because I had finished it and I just wanted to use it right away. So I put like my wallet and knitting and different things in there, and yeah, I brought it to my class last night because I just wanted to wear it right away. But I was thinking actually that I would use it just as a knitting bag, and this size would be perfect for either a large shawl or maybe a fingering weight sweater or a sport weight sweater. I don't know if it would be quite large enough for like a worsted weight sweater. It would be maybe, eventually it would be a tight fit. But yeah, so it's a crossbody bag. I'll stand up and show you what it looks like. So this is it. There's the bottom. And yeah, I'm wearing a, my pockets got a little wrinkled from sitting, but this is a True Bias Southport dress, and I have made quite a few of these. And this one was a dress that I've never talked about it before, I don't think, but I made this dress as a shop sample for a shop that asked me if I would like to teach a class. And so I made this dress, and it sat at the shop for, I don't know, it was a month or so. The class never ran. It didn't have quite long enough to get enough interest. But if people had signed up for it, I think I needed like 3 minimum, then I would have taught a class on how to make this dress, which would have been cool, but it never happened. And unfortunately, I've never talked about teaching any other classes there. I kind of took a long break from garment sewing, and really recently I have gotten sort of a sewing bug, and I've just wanted to make everything. So I think that's it for this bag. Like I said, I'll put a link down in the description bar to this tutorial if you would like to check it out. Really fun, really easy. You only need one. You only need one thing of clothesline, and it would be a little smaller, of course. So if you only wanted to buy one, you could just do that and make it a little bit smaller, or you could buy 2 and make it a little bit larger. So yeah, next time I think I will definitely make it a little bit larger even than this one. Although this is a great purse size, honestly. I just like big bags, so, but this is a really great like medium size purse. And also, like if you're into knitting, great for a knitting project bag. And it's cool that it's crossbody, so that, and it has the big holes, so you could have your knitting, you know, your yarn coming up through here while you're knitting, and carry this around a festival or something like that. So that's it for my bag. So let's see. Put it up here. So I have 2 finished, well, wait, yeah, that was 1 finished object. I have a pair of shorts, pajama shorts, that I made for the CraftyBug Sew Along. So this is the pattern. It's the Carolyn Pajama pattern by Closet Case Patterns. And I made the shorts. I just made the shorts. And that is view C. So I made it out of silky Robert Kaufman. It's half silk, half cotton, silky fabric. That's the back side. Here's the front side. So these were really easy to make. They were pretty quick and easy. The silk did add a little extra, the silk, it wants to move, it wants to slide, and it doesn't, if you use cotton, cotton will stay where you put it, and if you press it, it'll hold that press, like for your seam allowance or something like that. But this silk does not want to stay still. So this is a little bit more of a challenging fabric. I think if you don't have a ton of experience, you might want to stay away from silk. I do use a lot of pins sometimes, and I found myself using extra pins so that this fabric wouldn't wiggle away. And plus, like I said, I have this sewing bug right now, but I had this huge period of time where I took sort of a break from sewing, and I really got into knitting and spinning and weaving and all these other crafts that I've been doing. But I took a huge break from garment sewing, and so I felt kind of rusty making these actually. I felt like I could feel the rust falling off while I was sewing. So I'm so happy that I did this, and I'm so happy that Amanda asked me to co-host this sew along with her, because I feel like it helped give me sort of a prod in the butt to get going with my garment sewing. And now I just want to make everything. I have like the plans to just make absolutely everything. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly change, and I'll try these on and show you what they look like on. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. Here are the pajama shorts. There's really not too much to see. They're just basic pajama shorts, and this purple is so intense. It does have pockets. I'll show you the back. So that's about it. I did sew a faux fly, so let's see. There's a faux fly. It doesn't actually open. You could make it open up if you wanted to, but yeah, so it just has elastic waist, and this is 2-inch elastic waist, I think. Okay, so I did love that I made it out of silk. It is super comfortable. They feel wonderful. They're very silky, and I wore them to bed the other day. They're super comfortable and great pajama shorts. So I think that's all I have to say about them for now, and I have one other sewing thing to talk about, which I'm probably the most excited about. It just came out. It's a brand new pattern also from Closet Case Patterns. This is, I swear I'm not sponsored by Closet Case Patterns. I just really like them. I really like their designs, and I really like their stuff. So, so this brand new pattern called the Jenny Overalls and Trousers just came out, and immediately there's more views than they have on here. There are 4 different options with lots of variations. So there's the full length, well, at least 4. There's full length overalls. There's cropped overalls. There's the shorts overalls. Then there's a pair of shorts and a pair of trousers. So lots of options with this pattern. And immediately when I saw this came out, I wanted to make the overall shorts. So I have been wanting a pair of overall shorts for years, but I can never find a pair that either is comfortable to wear or is flattering. So I was super excited to see this pattern come out, and so I've already started sewing it, or not sewing it, but cutting it out. I would like to finish. I have a few more pieces to cut out, and then I would like to start sewing it like today, like right now. like stop talking so you can finish sewing this, or start sewing it. Okay, so I did purchase the overalls hardware kit that they came out with, so you could buy the pattern and a kit to go with it, and it comes with the hardware that you need for the overalls. You could sew a buttonhole instead of purchasing these. You could sew a buttonhole, but I wanted the proper hardware. So yeah, overall buckles. That's what I'm trying to say. The overall buckles. I wanted the overall buckles for the bib. And I also elected to buy the additional 4 buttons. There was an option to buy 4 extra buttons. So instead of doing a zipper on the side, you could do buttons, and I was like, I want that. I think little buttons on the side would be really cute. So I did get the extra buttons. And I think I got I think this is the brass color. I think maybe was there 2 options for colors, and I got the brass option. There might have been a silver option. I don't remember. But I'm so excited about these. So yeah, I got the hardware kit. And I also got one of their new labels. So they just started. Here's their little card with some of the different patterns. I have the Ginger Jeans pattern. I have a shop copy that I went and had printed out. I have fabric to make them. I've just never made them. And I've had it for like, I don't know, 2 years now. So hopefully when I finish these overalls, I will just suck it up and just cut my fabric, because the reason I haven't made jeans is I'm just afraid to start. So I think once I start, I'll be good. And I think these overalls will help push me to do it. So yeah, that's a few of their patterns. But what I wanted to show you was the new label that they send when you buy one of their patterns. I don't know if it's just printed patterns or what, but anyways, they sent me this label. So it says Me Made. So it's currently Me Made May, by the way. And that's another reason why I wore my Southport dress that I was wearing before I changed. I wore the Southport dress because it is Me Made May. And a lot of people commit to making garments, not making garments, but wearing handmade, me-made things all May. So like at least one item. Some people go, they want to wear everything that they wear is me-made for the entire month of May. I don't have enough stuff to do that. So I'm just kind of like casually taking part, but anyways, I love this little label. I'll have to decide if I want to put it in these overalls or if I want to wait and put it in maybe another pair. Maybe I will make, I'm thinking about making a pair of the pants, the long full length overalls. That might be fun. Maybe in a black, or I've also thought about making another pair of shorts in white. So I'm going to show you my fabric. First up, I thought I'd show you you have lining for the pockets and for just for the pockets. So these are the 2 pieces for the pockets. And it says on the pattern that you can use quilting cotton. So originally I bought this fabric to make project bags. I think it's really cute. It has arrows, and it's not upside down. It's upside down. That's okay. It has little bears and arrows. Is this one upside down too? They're both upside down. they're just pockets, so it doesn't matter. And this won't be seen; it'll be on the inside, so it's just lining. So they'll be facing up when I look at them. Oh well. I don't think that matters. I'm just like suddenly realized that I cut this out wrong. It's a directional print. The little bears make it directional print. If it wasn't for the bears, like the arrows don't matter which way they go. Oh, okay. See, this is the rustiness that I was talking about, because if I had been like sewing consistently, I would be on the lookout for these little things. They're just like little tips and tricks and little things that you can do just to make your sewing look better, and and little rookie mistakes like not paying attention to the direction of the print. But like I said, this is just for the pocket lining. So for the actual fabric, I'm using Cone Mills denim. This is S jean. If you know anything about denim or Cone Mills denim, this is their S jean. So it has stretch to it, and it's supposed to be specifically made so that it won't bag out and it will hold its shape for longer. And so if you make pants with it, like the knees or maybe the butt area won't look as saggy and baggy at the end of the day than other denim might, other jean fabric might. And this is American-made denim, which is really cool. And it's made in North Carolina, which is, I'm from North Carolina originally. So I spent the first 21 years of my life in North Carolina. So I think that's pretty cool. And so I decided to use this jeans fabric that I had. I did purchase this to make the ginger jeans, also by Closet Case Patterns. And just, I never made them. So I decided I would use it for the Ginny overalls. And I did quickly message the Closet Case Patterns and ask them if they thought that using a stretch denim would be okay. And they said they thought it would be fine. So, and they answered me really quickly, which was so awesome. So yes, I did go ahead and cut it. Well, I still have a few pieces left to cut out, but so I did trace off my size. And I wanted to show you my notebook. Yeah, so here's a couple more of the pattern pieces. I just used freezer paper. There is special tracing paper that you can buy, and I've just never gotten around to purchasing any, and you can buy freezer paper at the grocery store. So it's really convenient just to buy freezer paper. And it works. It's just not as thin and easy to trace. Like, it's harder to see the lines underneath than paper that's made to trace patterns. And so I don't know who's watching this. So somebody who's watching this might just be interested in what I'm doing, and they don't sew, so they don't know some of these things. Or you might be someone who has a lot of experience and you know everything that I'm talking about. So I just want to quickly mention why I would trace a pattern versus cutting it out. So why I chose to trace it is so that I'm not cutting into the paper pattern that I purchased. And that once I've cut that paper pattern, it's not as easy to alter or to make a different size. So let's say I cut out a size today, but then in a year or even months down the road, I want to make another one, but I either lose a lot of weight or I gain a lot of weight, or maybe I become more physically active and my muscles change or something like that. There's a number of things that might happen. If your body fluctuates a lot, like mine does, unfortunately, then tracing is a good option so that later you can make a different size and make alterations and things if your body changes. So that is why I traced the pattern. So I'll tell you I'll tell you the size that I'm making, and I did make some alterations to the pattern. I chose to do the simplest alteration that I felt would be good for my body type, and it's a very common alteration that I make to patterns to fit me and something that the way my body is shaped. So I have small hips and legs. I have what is considered an inverted triangle body type, where the top half of my body is wider or larger, and then as you go down, I get smaller. So proportionately, I have smaller hips, so I almost always alter patterns, whether it is a shirt, and I'm grading from the waist to the hips, or it's like these overalls. I almost always grade around this area from the waist down. I usually grade down 1 to 2 pattern sizes. And for this pattern, I did grade down 2 pattern sizes. So I'll show you, I want to show you my journal. I started this back, I think, let's see, the first entry was in 2015. So I started this in 2015. This is just a little moleskin notebook. It has a little strap that you can use to close it and a little bookmarker. It's really cute. What I love about this notebook is that it has the dotted style graph paper. So the dots are really nice for sketching out little drawings, which I'll show you. So here's my little sketch for the Jenny overalls and trousers. So I sketched out what I wanted to make, which was the shorts. This is View B, and I just put on there that it's View B overall shorts, and I purchased the hardware kit with the 4 extra buttons. And then over here to the side, I wrote that based on the pattern, my bust is a size 16, my waist was also a size 16, and my hips, which, not surprising at all, was a size 12. So almost always my hips are always like 1 to 2 pattern sizes smaller. It's just the way I'm shaped. So I did grade down from the, there is well, I don't know if I can show it to you. There is a lengthen or shorten line on the shorts on the front piece and the back piece. And so what I did was I took my ruler and graded down from that lengthen shorten line to the bottom of the shorts. I graded to the two sizes down. So I graded down to the 12. And I did that on the front and the back piece and on both sides. So on the center front and the center back and the side seams, if that makes any sense to you. I chose not to make any other alterations. I'll see how this one fits. And if I decide to make another one, then I might choose to make some other alterations. For me, some other alterations that might be good for me. I carry weight in my stomach, so there's something called a full tummy adjustment. Just like there is a full bust adjustment, there's a small bust adjustment, there is a full seat adjustment, which would be the opposite of what I need. I would need a small seat adjustment. So anyways, I just chose to grade the side seams down so that it would go down to the size that my hips actually are. So that's the only alteration I've made. So in the sketch, by the way, the sketch really helped me think about exactly what I wanted the shorts to look like. So you can choose to make the shorts without these pockets and without the bib pocket. You can even choose to make it without the the back pockets. But I wanted the front pockets and the back pockets, and I wanted the bib pockets because I think that looks really cute. And I wanted the very like almost farmer overall look. So I think I could totally see myself wearing these out in the garden, which I've started cleaning up and working in the garden, which has been really exciting. So yeah, this is what it's going to be. I'm a little bit like, yeah, so it's going to be this denim color. And these are going to be the pockets, although right now I'm a little bit, this is bothering me. This is really bothering me. And I don't know if it's going to bother me so much that I have to cut out new fabric. I mean, I could still make something with this. Okay, so these were two options that I considered for the pocket lining. So it's just the lining, like I said, it's not going to be seen. This was another, I actually bought this for the ginger jeans. There is there's a pocket stay option for the ginger jeans. I think that's what it's called. That might not be correct, but and the pattern did say that you can use quilting cotton. So I bought this, like I said, like 2 years ago, I think. I got this in like a bin. This store has closed where I bought this. They had like a bin of, I don't know, fat quarters, or maybe this might be a half yard. So I just thought the bird and the roses were really cute, and it's pixelated. So I thought about using this, which I might decide to use now, and or I thought about using this, which was another like cute thing that I found in a bin. I don't know if I have. Looks like it's also a half a yard. And it's this sort of city print layout, like kind of a map of a city. And I think I was mostly attracted to the colors more than the city theme. But yeah, I probably bought that a couple years ago. So I might have to cut out new. I mean, this would be really cute together. I think so. I might cut out new pockets. That's really bothering me. I'll just have to pay extra attention to the direction of the print. I might decide to keep them. It's really not a big deal. Okay, I'm going to move on. So, yeah, I thought I'd just show you my notebook. And I can write down pattern adjustments that I make. So if I do, if I did a small seat adjustment, or, I don't know, another adjustment that I typically make is a full bust adjustment. So anything that I'm sewing, I can write down what I did to alter the pattern. What I will do, I haven't done yet, is glue a little piece of fabric. So here's the Carolyn pajamas that I just showed you. There's my little sketch of it, and it says just the date that I made them. I think that's the day I finished them. I don't really remember. And then just a little piece of the fabric with even the serged lines on there. I kept like a sample piece. Most of the time when I serge a new fabric, I like to take some scrap and make sure that everything's going smooth with the serger before I use it on my actual garment, because things can go wrong and you want to make sure that everything's good before you start cutting fabric with the serger. So anyways, that's what I do, is I glue using a scrapbooking glue stick, and that's it's like acid free. So the reason why I use the scrapbooking glue is so that it won't over time. I think it's not supposed to damage the paper and like turn yellow. I think it's just supposed to look better longer. So that's what I did. I have let's see if I can show you. Yeah, this was the page for the Sophie swimsuit that I made. So here's I colored all of these with crayons. And tried to decide on the way I wanted the colors to look. So if I wanted the red in the center or the black in the center, you know, did I want black on the back or red? So I really played around with that before I cut out the fabric. And I talked about my Sophie swimsuit, I think on the last episode. So if you didn't see that and you want to check it out, I did show off my swimsuit. So yeah, that's my sewing journal. I'm not going to show you everything that's in here, but I do love keeping this sewing journal, and it's great to write down all the things that you do, all the little adjustments and whatnot. I'm not always great about doing that, but I do highly recommend that you do it because you will forget. You definitely will forget, unless you have one of those special memories. I definitely don't have one of those memories. Okay, I completely did forget to talk about my crafting from the past segment. I blew right by it, and so I'm gonna have to like insert this where it's supposed to go. So these are the inside of my shorts. They've been wrinkled because I've been wearing it for the past, I don't know, 30 minutes or more while I've been chatting. Which is really nice. These are super comfy to wear. This is, yeah, the inside of the shorts. But I have a crafting from the past segment, which I do try to do. I have something that I've made in the past, or possibly something that someone's made for me, like a family member. Like last time, my Aunt Terry made some pottery for me. But I do try to do a crafting from the past segment where I talk about something that I made in the past. And so for this segment, I have something that's really special to me. It's my very first garment that I ever sewed. And it is also, it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's a pair of pajama shorts that I was required to make in high school for my apparel and development class. So I took apparel and development 1 and 2 in high school. And I never ever, like my freshman year, I remember hearing about like a sewing class, and I was like, that's stupid. Who would sew their own clothes? You can buy them. Oh my gosh. I'm not kidding. I really thought that. And then I had a friend who was taking the class, and on your own spare time, you were allowed to make a purse or something like that if you were interested, but you had to do it on your own time. You couldn't use class time because you were supposed to be making garments. So there are required things that you have to make, and the first thing that you're required to make was a pair of these boxer shorts, which is like pajama shorts. So this is the pattern. It's a McCall's, what's the number? 8934. And we were required to make this specific pattern. I did make this version right here, view C. I have a Post-it sticky note that I cut. It's just covering my maiden name because it says Stephanie, and then I covered my maiden name, which I don't want to share with the internet, because in high school, obviously, I wasn't married. Anyway, so I made view C, and look, there's the back. And this was my very first garment I ever made. So I'll stand up, and I'm wearing them, so I'll stand up and show you now. These mint pajama shorts. This was the very first, oh, let me stand up. Oh, there's lily white legs. These are my very first garment that I ever made. So it has a faux fly, just like the shorts that I just sewed. It has pockets. These pockets are a different type of pocket. This is just sewn into the side seam. And then, yeah, just plain on the back. And these are super comfortable. I made these, I was probably 15 years old. Yeah, that sounds wrong, but I mean, I don't think I was 16. I was God, that sounds young. I think I was probably 15 when I made these. And they look pretty good. Considering these were my first This is the first garment that I ever sewed, which is pretty cool. Now the insides are not cute. We had to have special permission to use the serger, and I don't think I used the serger until Apparel and Development 2. So we all had our own assigned regular sewing machines. I think they were Husqvarna Vikings, maybe. They were quite nice. You know, in my opinion, they were quite nice. That, you know, we had a classroom full of Husqvarna sewing machines. And I didn't have a sewing machine that nice until I met my husband. He purchased my current sewing machine, which I've had for 6 years. I don't really know. I have a Janome. It's the pink one. I don't know what the number is, but maybe I'll put a picture, or you will have seen it from the bag too. So that's my main sewing machine, and I also have a Janome Magnolia serger. So that's my crafting from the past segment. Like I said, I made this in Apparel and Development 1. I think I was a sophomore, because I don't think I took it my freshman year. I think I took Apparel and Development 1. I could be wrong. I don't really remember. I don't keep that kind of stuff in my head. I know the classes I took, but not the exact year that I took them. So yeah, I did take Apparel and Development 1 and 2. I want to say I was a junior when I took Apparel and Development 2. So, and it was right around this time that I started the crochet club, and I had a crochet club at my high school, which I started and I taught, and it tells you about how cool I was. I had a group of ladies and one guy that would hang out after school. I think it was once or twice a week after school, and it was run by me. So it was pretty cool. We got to be in the yearbook and everything. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because it was that teacher who was, you have to have like a teacher that is sort of the mentor adult person that is, you know, the, like the, I don't know, mentor for the club. So the sewing teacher, I'm not going to say her name. I'll call it Mrs. T. She offered to be my mentor for the club, so she helped me kind of get everything together, and that was really cool. So anyways, I loved that class. My love of sewing was immediate. I immediately loved sewing, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I was really good right away. I had a natural knack for it, and I blew through. We were required to make certain number of garments, and I would go above and beyond and make way more than I was required to make. And the other people would still be on their first project, and I would be on my second, third, fourth project, and I'd be making a bag, and I'd be making this, and I'd be making that, and I'd be stealing scraps from the scrap bin to make something cute with. So, anyways, that's it for my crafting from the past video. I'll show you one more time. My little mint colored shorts, which still fit. I was much skinnier at the time, by the way. So, yeah, that's it for the crafting from the past segment. So, I would like to go ahead and talk about knitting, and I have one thing to show. I haven't been working on knitting as much because obviously I've been pretty distracted by sewing. So I just have one thing to show, and this is my Close to You shawl that I'm making with my own hand-dyed yarn. So I do have two skeins of this colorway available right now. This is a singles yarn, and it's in the colorway called Unicorn Toot. And it's super bright and happy. It totally reminds me of just like a really fun unicorn colorway, I think. So I love the name. I have my stitch markers from MandoBug. She is, like I said, MandoBug Crafts here on YouTube. And yeah, I have been steadily working on it. I don't know if it looks like I've made a ton of progress or not, but there's actually quite a bit of knitting I've put into this. It's getting longer, so, you know, it's taking a little bit longer to finish rows now. But I really love the way that this is turning out. And look at that. I love these really, really bright, like almost neon colors. And I have some more yarn in my shop updates. That's this color right here. I think, look how cute this is going to be. This is going to be like a really cute, I think like a little scarf to wear, something cute just to throw on. And I know these colors aren't for everyone, but I do love these bright, happy colors. I have days where I wear more neutral things, and I have days where I throw on something like bright, happy, maybe a little outrageous. I love these. I totally love these colors. So yeah, that's my Close to You shawl. I went into a lot of detail last time about it, so I won't do that now, but it's really fun to knit this. This has been great for car knitting, and yeah, I'm absolutely loving this. It's pretty much the only thing I've knit on since last time. So that's it for knitting. I have some spinning to talk about. Mostly, I really just want to talk about my plans for the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, which is, it starts tomorrow. And so I just wanted to chat a little bit about that. And I do have my, I'll go ahead and show you. This is my current spin. This is created by LCB Fiber, and it is in the colorway Unicorns. It's Rambouillet, Merino, and Stellina. It has a absolute ton of Stellina in it, and it's gold Stellina. And it's almost done. This is the last one that I have left, but there is one on my wheel right now, which is why I'm not showing you the bobbin, because I probably have half of one left and then this, so I have like 1.5 of these strips left, and then I can ply it. But like knitting, spinning has also taken a back seat to sewing. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Oh, I am doing an opposing 2-ply. So last time I chatted about it, and I don't think it came across quite the way I meant for it to come across. I did intentionally spin it to be an opposing 2-ply. I went to spin the 2nd ply, and it suddenly occurred to me that I could intentionally spin for an opposing 2-ply. But it hadn't occurred to me right until that second that I went to spin to choose which direction to spin it in. It suddenly occurred to me that I could do an opposing 2-ply. So that is what I'm doing. And it is for my Handspun box of socks that I am hosting all year. So yeah, that's my current sock spin. And maybe next time I'll actually, well, if I finish spinning it, I will probably want to ply it right away, because I don't wait to ply things. Some people always wait, and I never wait. I usually ply things immediately if I can, and if not, the next day I will ply it. So yeah, I wanted to chat about the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, and I just need to grab a something real quick. Okay, so I made some notes about some different types of wool. I have been reading the Fleece and Fiber source book and the Spinner's Book of Fleece to help prepare myself for the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, because I would like to purchase 1 to possibly 2 maximum fleeces. And I wanted to do some research on different types of wool and have sort of a game plan for things that I'm interested in trying out, so that I don't just get there and you know, I don't want to get there and then just be overwhelmed by different choices and different wools. And so I wanted to put some thought into what I would like to make first, and excuse me, what I would like not to make, but yeah, kind of what I would like to, what kinds of wool that I would like. So and colors and things like that. So I wanted to just think about what I want before I go, which will help me kind of like maybe not get too overly excited when I get there and I have all of these beautiful fleeces around me. I'll be able to kind of steer myself towards the things that I've already decided that I'm interested in. I had a really hard time narrowing it down though, because I'm really interested in a lot of different types of wool. I kind of want to experience a little bit of everything. So I'll show you. I made a page of notes. I'm going to tear this out and bring it with me. I also have so this is the Fleece and Fiber source book. There is also the Field Guide to Fleece, which is a smaller version of this book. It's like this big and more like pocket sized, so that you can take it to fiber festivals, which I did do. I took it to Rhinebeck, this past Rhinebeck, and it has space to write notes in it, and I did write in it the two fleeces that I have. So on the Finn page and the Corriedale page, I do have notes about the fleeces that I bought and where I bought them. So I will be taking my my Field Guide to Fleece with me to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, unless I forget it. I'm going to try to remember to pack it. So, yeah, I made some notes about the different types of wool that I'm interested in. And I have been doing a little bit of just sort of research on different breeds and characteristics and what they're good for, stuff like that. So I did make this list, and I have sort of sections that I'm interested in. So I have the down family, the English long wool family or group. I put colored merino on there because colored merino, Rambouillet, or Cormo, if I were to get one of those, I want to have for sure, I only want to look at natural colors. And I put here on the top that I'm most interested in brown, black, chocolate, cinnamon, fawn. There is some other names like Morit, and some other names of different colors that I'm interested in. So I'm most interested in buying a naturally colored fleece. So, and I'm more interested in the brown family than I am in the gray family. And that's because I have a warm skin tone. So my skin tone, this like purple is not warm. This is like more cool, but typically I look better in warm toned things, warm toned lipstick, warm toned colors, and because I have a warmer tone to my skin, and sometimes I feel like gray. If I wear gray, it has to be a specific shade of gray, because I feel like gray, especially lighter grays, just wash me out, and they make me look pasty and pale, and I really just don't feel like I look good in certain shades of gray. So, but brown, on the other hand, really suits me. I think it does. It plays off. There's golden tones. This is my natural hair color. I've had my natural hair color for I don't know how many years now, a few years. I stopped dyeing my hair. I used to dye it for fun, really. I mean, I didn't have grays I do now, but I just wanted to wear my natural hair color while I still can. Anyways, I have natural golden and almost dirty blonde tones to my hair, and brown really highlights that, and I think brings that out, and also my brown eyes as well. So I love chocolates and dark browns, and I'd also consider a black. I would like a, there is this sheep called the Black Welsh Mountain sheep, and it is the, I want to say only true black wool, but I could be wrong. If not, it's one of the only true black wools, because other colors are dark brown that kind of appears black, but isn't a true black, and the Black Welsh Mountain is a true black wool. So that would be interesting to have. I also starred Southdown, which is the, I think the ancestor to all of the down family sheep. The Southdown was like the original down wool. And down wool is really cool. It doesn't get as much attention as other wools, especially like merino and cormo and rambouillet and like even targhee and I don't know. There's a ton of different ones that get more attention. But down's pretty cool because it is very resistant to felting, and it says. I looked it up. It says that it's great for socks, mittens, hats, and everyday sweaters. So yeah, I starred Southdown, but there's also Dorset Down, Hampshire, Oxford, Shropshire. I probably said that wrong. And Suffolk. I don't know. So that's the down family, and any of those might be nice. They're all relatively similar, but I think Southdown would be cool because it is the original down wool. I also starred BFL and Romney for the English long wool family. I don't know. I have this thing where I'm really not that interested in BFL for some reason. But if I found a really beautiful colored BFL fleece, then I might purchase one. But I've been thinking about Romney. If I could find a softer Romney fleece, that might be nice. And it does come in black and brown. And there are Romney crosses that would be nice as well. I don't have to have like a pure Romney. So, which is like the Rommeldale or the CVM is a mix of Romney and Rambouillet. And that Rambouillet is a cousin or related to Merino, I'm pretty sure. So that'll add some softness to the Romney, which can be a little bit more of a little more coarse, a little more hard wearing. So I also starred Jacob, which is like my Finn fleece, has natural different colors in it. And that might lend itself to some more natural color work, which could be fun. Which was really fun with the Finn fleece that, if you haven't seen, I made an arboreal sweater by Jennifer Steingass. And I have a whole series dedicated to my Fleece to FO projects. And then a Shetland. So I have been talking to a local farmer about purchasing one of her Shetland fleeces, but she doesn't have a lot of options, and she's also super busy, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. So if I find a Shetland fleece, preferably a single coated Shetland fleece that is soft, in a dark brown, Morit, Majet, fawn, or black, then I will probably buy it. Because I have been really interested in Shetland. I have like a star right next to Shetland. So I think that's pretty much it. I also have considered alpaca. That's why it says question mark. There is a class that you can take for spinning alpaca. I think it goes into even choosing a alpaca. It's not a fleece. Is it a blanket? It's called. I don't know too much about spinning alpaca. So there is a class. I considered taking it, but I think it's like a 3-hour class on Sunday. So I don't know that that I'll do that. But so yeah, that's my game plan, my list of things that I'm interested in. There's a lot on here, but you never know what you'll run into, what will be available. There might be a lot of, the same kind of sheep, or there might be a ton of variation. There might be some cool things that, I don't know, like there might not be any Black Welsh Mountain sheep at all. But I put it on the list because I think it's cool, and if I run into one that's really nice, then I might like to purchase one. So anyway, I just thought I would share. I thought I would share sort of my plans and my game plan. Besides purchasing a fleece, there's not too much that I'm looking for as far as yarn and things like that. I am somewhat interested in looking at farm yarns and like breed specific wool, and it's possible that I might see a sweater's quantity of farm yarn that I might come home with. That'd be the one thing that I would allow myself to get is breed specific farm yarn, because that's really cool. And maybe I will think about, there's quite a few sweater patterns that I want to make. And so I might take a look at the weights and the yardage requirements for a couple of those and have those in mind before I head out tomorrow. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm going tomorrow. I might go Saturday or Sunday, and I might go both days. It's a long drive for me, so I don't know. I don't know. So I think that's all I have to say about the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival. If by chance you are also going to the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival and you see me, you can say hi. You can definitely come say hi. I don't mind if you want to take a picture or something like that. I don't mind. That would be weird. I've never had that happen. It would be weird because it's just never happened to me. I don't know that it would happen, but it's possible that I might run into someone who follows me. I did have someone reach out to me on Instagram and say that they're going to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, and they said that they would love to run into me. So it would be cool. It would be cool to run into a viewer. But yeah, I think I come off as an extrovert online, but in reality, I am an introvert for sure, and I have the ability to be extroverted when the situation arises, but I can be shy, and I can be quiet. Well, sometimes I can be quiet. I can be extremely chatty. But anyways, if you do see me, you can definitely say hi. And yeah, don't just see me and think, oh, I don't want to bother her. I mean, maybe don't hang around for an hour, but definitely come say hi for a minute or two. So, all right, that's all I have to say about that. I do have a shop update that I want to share with you, so I'm just going to grab some of my yarn and show you what I have in the shop. I have a little shop update to share with you guys. Last time I did a scheduled shop update, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know because I have sold out of yarn quickly, and other times I have not sold out of yarn. It's sat a little bit longer. So I had no idea what to expect, and so I decided to try out a shop update with a scheduled time, and so I still have quite a lot of that yarn. So I thought I would share with you what I have, and I'm going to start with the new stuff that I have. So Last time I talked about a new colorway, and so I'll show you these two. This is Just Peachy, and this one is very hard to photograph, so I wanted to show it off on camera because I felt like I could get a better, you guys could see better the little subtle color shifts and the speckling. This colorway is intense. It is bright. It is very, very, very bright and springy. I absolutely love this color, but it is very hard to photograph. So I did want to share it on the podcast to show you what it looks like. This is absolutely gorgeous. Really bright, almost like neon colors. It's pink and orange and like kind of peach tones. There is some bright pink and some more orangey spots, more apricot spots. Just a nice little variation. Kind of shifts from the hot pink to the more orange apricot areas, and there's some lighter, softer spots and some darker spots. This is a really, in my opinion, this is really gorgeous, but definitely very, very bright, very, very happy color. And I think this would make, I don't know if you guys would make a sweater out of this. I probably would. I love it. But definitely, this would be great as a bright, fun pop in a shawl. Stephen West shawls would come to mind when I think about these kind of colors. So that's Just Peachy. And this next color is called Cactus Blossom. Yeah, this is called Cactus Blossom. And it is similar to Just Peachy in that it has pink and apricot to orange colors. But it also has blue and little bits of lavender, like a very faint light lavender. And there are some spots that, like right here, there are some green spots. And this just reminded me of sort of like a desert flower, or it just had sort of a desert feel to it. So I was thinking about different flowers, and I even looked up some desert flowers, and the name Cactus Blossom just came to mind, and I think it fits it perfectly. So this is, so I love that right there. So this is Cactus Blossom, and I have 3 of these available, and this is on just a classic sock base, and so is Just Peachy. Those are both on my classic sock base. So I also have 3 sock sets available. So this is a new colorway, relatively new colorway that I dyed. This is Hook, Line, and Sinker, and hold it the right way. Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I have 3 of these. They are sock sets. So it comes with a 100-gram skein, and then it's a 20-gram mini. So you can use the mini for heels, toes, and cuffs. You can also do some color work with it if you want. I have seen some socks that have color work, or like around the cuffs and things like that. So that's really, that would be a really fun thing to do with the mini. So this is called Hook, Line, and Sinker. It is a fishing inspired yarn. So there's the label, Hook, Line, and Sinker. And it has blue, green, neon greens, and pops of yellow and orange and black. So you can see there. This reminds me of fishing for sure, which is why I named it Hook, Line, and Sinker. The last set that I dyed was a little bit lighter. I was a bit more heavy-handed with the sprinkles, my speckling on this. These are heavily speckled, which I think, I don't know if you can tell, they are super heavily speckled, and there is just so much depth and interest in this yarn. I wanted to keep one of these, and then I wanted to keep all of them to make a sweater. I love fishing. I am a fisherwoman for sure. I bass fish, and I do a little bit of fly fishing. I'm pretty a novice at fly fishing, but I do fly fish a little. And I thought this would make a really cool sweater, but I was like, no, you need to sell it. And I was like, maybe I'll keep one and make myself a pair of socks. I'll just put this over here. But I was like, no. Anyway, so this one came out a little bit darker, and I really love it. This reminds me more of bass fish. And the last one reminded me a little bit more of trout. So I think it's cool, but the little subtle differences that I get every time, because my yarn is hand dyed and hand painted. Everything is small batch, and it will vary from batch to batch, and each skein will be slightly different. It's just the nature of how I dye the yarn. So each one is like a little work of art, and I really love that about these. Okay, so that is hook, line, and sinker. I have 3 sock sets. And then I have, I talked about these last time, I have rusted and weathered, which are these really fun skeins that have lime green and blue, purple, aqua, rust to oranges, and even this sort of, this almost reminds me of the desert too, like this section right here. I think these are so pretty. I would love to see how these knit up. This is rusted and weathered, and this is also on my classic sock base. So then the last one I have is the 2 unicorn toots. This is the same yarn that I am using for my Close to You shawl. This is a singles base. So you probably don't want to use this for socks, but it is it's sock or fingering weight. Everything I've shown you is fingering weight. But this is a singles yarn, and singles yarn, although you could use it in a garment, I think some garments use singles. Like I think Stephen West has some patterns where he uses singles in garments, but most people I think use singles for shawls. So, and that's what I'm using mine for, is my Close to You shawl. These are really, really fun, and if you want to see what they look like, yeah, check out Knit Up, check out my Close to You shawl, which I showed earlier. So that's it for my shop update, and that is it for today. This was a lot longer than I expected it to be. I am just so excited about sewing right now. So I ended up chatting a little bit, maybe a little too much about sewing, but I really have a sewing bug right now. I just have the urge to sew absolutely everything. So anyways, I think that'll be it for today, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And maybe if you're coming to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, maybe I will see you at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. So see you next time. Bye.